Okay, channel surfers, before we get started today, make sure that you like and subscribe on YouTube. I am pointing right here. Go ahead and click that link. That will take you to the subscribe. If you are on Apple Podcast or Spotify, make sure you follow us and give us a 5-star review. And reviews help best. And share us with all of your friends that like Traitors, 90 Day Fiancé, Love is Blind, Sister Wives, and all of the reality TV shows that we love and adore. And with that, Traitors. All right. It's week 4 and we've already lost our capes and shirts.
I've already dumped something all over mine. I don't think it's going to come out.
Was it blood?
I wish it was oil, and you know how that is.
You traitor.
I'm a traitor.
The real traitor is the dryer because, I don't know, disappearing socks, disappearing capes. I think it's murdering them. Traitors Season 4, Episode 7, The Black Banquet. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Welcome to Remote Reality. I'm Lauren, your friend and attorney host who loves to overanalyze everything, including our favorite reality TV shows, and who just had some Kahlua and coffee because I'm all hyped up today.
Oh, maybe I should make me a mimosa and come back.
I'm probably getting de-hyped up. It has been a rough week, and we aren't used to this cold weather. As I say, and it's 55 degrees outside, but it's supposed to snow tomorrow. Down here in the low country is South Carolina. And this is Dee,
her paralegal and smartass sidekick and co-host.
She's going to kick me in the ass, y'all.
No,
I deserve it,
I would never do that.
I can admit when I'm wrong. I don't think Grob's that dumb boy from Alabama.
No, I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He's
using...
playing a Rob game. He's not playing a traitor game.
He's not using word of the day toilet paper. He's using big boy words correctly. Trying to trick us like he's just sitting out in the country skipping rocks in his crick.
He's more than just looking pretty. We were wrong last week.
Don't mean he's not pissing me off. So,
for sure.
The Black Banquet, we start in this banquet hall. What do you think?
I thought it was epic. Epic was the word in my head. I loved it. The outfits, the furniture, the dinner, everything about the room was just over the top.
It reminded me of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, the banquet hall, and the castles.
Is this a
That's
game?
very niche comment.
I was going to say,
you know,
I don't know Zelda.
There's probably some treasure chest in there with rupees. But yeah, the fashion, Candace looked like a goddess. She had a halo coming off her head, physically coming off her head.
Well, her halo, did you notice the snakes? I was thinking Medusa immediately. Yeah, it's got like these gold snakes in it. And it had like this Medusa effect. I was like, oh, that's gorgeous.
Yam Yam looked great with his white shirt and our white suit and feather boa.
Mara come in that hat sideways. And I was like, holy shit, that's gorgeous. She
Just
looked like a
drug her
freaking runway model.
hands.
Yeah, she looked like a runway model.
I'm going to give Mara best dressed for this, for the ladies.
Oh, yes. 100%.
Worst dressed for the guys, hands down Colton. What the fuck was he wearing?
I don't know. But, you know, I didn't like Rob's either. Like, it looked like a cartoon vest or something with no shirt under it.
It
I was
did.
like, what? Everybody else is done up in this, like, amazing theatrical looking fashion, and he's in the freaking cartoon vest or something.
Now, if it was cartoon vest Donald Duck and he didn't have pants on, would that elevate his status?
Well, he is pretty, so, you know.
But Colton had like necklaces dripping off his head, dripping down his chest. It didn't even look put together. It looked like he walked through somebody's jewelry box.
I was thinking like a 1920s flapper. Is that what they're called? The headbands that they put on that would have like the beads and feathers.
But one that got stoned and just went crazy in Mama's jewelry cabinet.
You know, or somebody didn't complete it. They were just half finished and like, it'll do.
Best dressed guy, definitely Yam Yam. Worst dressed girl.
I don't know. They were all dressed pretty good. I was sitting here thinking, because at first I was like, I don't remember what Dorinda was wearing, but she had on something that was burgundy that had like a flower on it.
Natalie had this chainmail vest that was very tight fitted, but I loved
It
it.
was very
She looked like a
corseted.
warrior.
Yeah,
Yes.
like it was like corseted. Yes.
Kristen didn't look like she was dressed up. Oh, I know who worse dressed was, in my opinion. People are going to hate this, but Lisa Rinna, she looked like a schoolboy.
I was thinking like it was very, very sailorish almost to me. Even though it was a dress, it looked
it was
very
Popeye, eat my spinach.
Yes, exactly. Very Popeye-ish.
Yeah. Sorry, Lisa.
She wore it well, but I just
The
didn't
amulet
care
was
for it.
very pretty.
Mhm.
But yeah, worse dressed. So Candace starts by saying Lisa could throw everybody's cover. She could blow up Rob's spot and Candace's spot. How is that going to happen in this situation, though, where Lisa's the only one killing somebody?
Yeah. I was wondering the same thing. I was thinking, okay, she's the only one doing it. She's wearing the amulet. You guys aren't communicating, although they did have some back and forth code, I think.
Yes.
And
You're blowing up your own spot, though. Candace, when they sit down at the table, are you talking about that part? And she says,
yes.
Lisa, do you feel successful in life? And Lisa's like, yeah. I'm sorry, what? Where is this coming from on the Traitors sitting at this banquet? Why is this conversation happening? I think people
Who
will have
even asked?
questions.
Yeah, who asked that kind of question? Like when I sit down at dinner with people, whether I know them or don't know them, I don't say, do you feel successful in life?
We need some other code words, ladies. Like, would you like some peaches? Maybe, would you like some turkey?
Mhm. How about some pickles?
Dorinda's just a natural surfer.
Mm-hmm.
She got the sus put on her for trying to give Tara some turkey. She's like, girl, you need some protein. Tara's thinking that has been sitting out for a while. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, Steven got some sus too, just for cutting the turkey.
Well, and the tarot cards. So Lisa, she's like, this is the Super Bowl of murders. And she might not be an NFL professional or an Olympic athlete, but she is the quarterback of the Super Bowl of murders. She loves more than anything to be the center of attention. And this is going to be the most iconic banquet in the 4 years of Traitor history that we have. 4 whole years. Most iconic. So what did you think of her strategy? She comes in saying, do you see how I come to life with fashion, and just is complimenting everybody's outfit. She's throwing out, you look amazing, like Oprah throws out gifts. You look amazing, and you look amazing, and you look amazing, and you
Gifts
look
for
amazing.
everyone.
Amazing's everywhere. What do you think of the strategy?
I thought it was a little over the top. Considering what had to be done that night, I think I might have dialed it back some because she hadn't been acting that way all the other episodes.
And that's what we said. She can't change her behavior just because Colton called her out. And a lot of people start giving the kisses on the cheek. When she leaned into Yam Yam, though, I thought maybe the brooch had touched him then. They leaned in pretty close. And I thought, oh no, was that it?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I honestly didn't think anything about the kisses. I never thought anybody would even go that direction of the kisses. I was so focused on watching her with the brooch and how she was going to get somebody to touch it that I wasn't paying attention to the other. And she almost had him at one point to just touch it voluntarily, and then Kristen walked up.
Oh yeah, he leans in, he's like, oh, look at that amulet. And as he starts to reach out, Kristen comes right up. Maybe she needs to play this a little more faithful too. At one point, Johnny says, you might kill me in a corner. And she was like, I may have to. And then Colton says, you're killing me in that outfit. And she just says, yes.
Right. I thought with Colton, I thought it was very sus with him. Like I would have given her a double take if I was him at the same, in the same position.
I just can't believe she didn't say something like, oh, you're so silly. You know, I'm a faithful. Or why would you say that?
Yeah.
Feel like we're all at risk tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought she needed to act a little more concerned at the table too when the antidote finally did come out.
She looked more annoyed than excited.
Yes. But, she had just been on everybody's radar the week before. So I would have been a little more like, hey, I want the antidote.
We're not actors, but this would be our stage note. Yam Yam had early suspicions when we're first walking in. He said he didn't think he had ever cheered Lisa with that intensity before. She has stars in her eyes. She's looking like a crazed serial killer. So they were feeling that vibe just walking in. Could have just been the vibe of that horrible outfit she was wearing. They were like, Popeye, I don't want to eat spinach. I actually don't even want to eat this turkey.
Yeah. What are you doing at this medieval table?
Go get on your ship. At first, I didn't know if Lisa knew who she was going to kill. She said it wouldn't be Colton. That would be too obvious. But she was like, I just need anyone to touch the amulet.
I thought that was her strategy, honestly, because it was going to be such a difficult task that, okay, I'm just going to go with the thought of whoever touches it, I'm good with it.
That would have been a hilarious strategy because she would have been like anybody but Colton. So Colton comes in for the hug. She's like, no, get away from me.
Jerk away.
Colton reaches out to put his arm around her. Oh, no, stay away. That would be too sus. She narrows it down, though, to Yam Yam. She says because no one would suspect that. Kristen because she's smart, and Natalie because she's smart and she's the last gamer. I kind of wonder if this was post-production, if the producers were like, look, these three were near you when you went in for the move, so just come up with a reason why those would be the three you narrowed it down to. They wanted to leave us with a cliffhanger. What happens is Lisa pretends like the pen is poking her and she's like, oh shit, ow. Somebody put it in and it's going to be one of those three. Natalie, Kristen, or Yam Yam. We don't know until everyone else finds out. But who's the only one out of the three that could put it in? Yam Yam. Intent. That was pretty smart, though. But then why couldn't she put it in herself?
I don't know, unless it was because she was like, oh, it's poking me. Can you help me?
I would have loosened it up and let it fall on the floor.
Yes. Just wait for it to fall off and see who picks it up for her.
And typically, and maybe this is just because we live in the South, but guys will often jump in to help in that situation. I guess it also depends on what company you're around. But just go do it and, see who is the most gentlemanly. It'd probably be Rob. Rob would probably ruin it.
I wonder if they can do that.
No, Colton, don't touch it. I got this. To the rescue. Now, going into dinner, Rob doesn't even know what's going on. He's like, did somebody kill? I don't know. But he's okay with that because he wants plausible deniability. Is he just straight up reading Webster's dictionary? This isn't word of the day toilet paper. That was very effortlessly said. He's fooling us.
He is. He definitely is. Me having my hick mentality, I would have been like, I don't want anybody looking at me. I would never have said plausible deniability.
I feel like I'm in the court with opposing counsel arguing plausible deniability. I don't use that kind of language in real life.
He is good, though, at looking shocked and surprised and
he is good looking.
And he is good looking.
He looks like a statue. He looks like he is carved out of stone.
He looks like he should have his own calendar.
Like warm stone.
See,
stone that's been put into fire and pulled out. Cold stone.
I'm just sitting here thinking of all the different bibs I could picture him in from January to December.
The overalls.
Yes.
None needed. Let's just Burt Reynolds him out on a fur rug.
Yeah, that'll work too. I just want a calendar. Every month of the year, I've got him to look at for 30 days in a different outfit or a different pose.
Just wait until next week. We'll get you that calendar date. All right. So coming into the dinner, there's all kinds of things that are leading to suspicion. We talked about Tara and the turkey. Tara and the turkey. You think this has been sitting out a long time? And Dorinda's like, you get you some. Here you go. Eat that protein. Stephen carving the meats. Stephen telling people to pick up the taro, which someone picks it up and it's the chef's face. It's Kristen's face. So as they sit down to dinner, They all have this moment. It's hard to believe they've only known each other 7 days. And I'm thinking, whoa, this show moves so fast. It's only been 7 days.
Right.
How have we not been here a month? They're
True.
taking someone out every day. This is moving fast. So maybe when things don't all seem to be coming together for them, they're not having much time to process it. It's like breakfast, mission, round table, murder, breakfast, mission, round table murder. So someone says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go long, go with others. How does that apply to what we're seeing from the traitors? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go long, go with others.
Well, when they were working as a team, they were going further. They were getting further because everybody kept voting out the faithfuls. But Rob, as soon as he's turned, we're going to probably see a traitor go.
But we saw him turn when her name came up.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, we end the episode with suspicion also on Candace and Rob, as well as Lisa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the whole go alone part, Rob still isn't going alone because he's in pretty tight with these faithfuls.
Right. But I mean, as far as being a team member with the traitors, for them to
you see what I'm saying? Not alone. So if this is foreshadowing, Rob is going to go farther than anybody. He not only has this alliance alone with the traitors, but he has an alliance with others. A very strong alliance with others.
I see what you're saying. He's probably honestly going to be the traitor that's standing at the end with probably Colton.
Mara, get him now. He's about to win some money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kristen, very sweet. She's never lived a life of luck, playing any part in it, but she feels like they're all here for a reason. Very heartwarming. You're also saying that to 3 traitors, but I'm touched.
That'd be something I would say.
If you were a traitor.
Well, I say it all the time in life anyway. Nobody comes into our lives. Everybody comes into our life for a purpose, a reason, a lesson, something like that, you know?
Dee's in my life to straighten my ass out.
Sometimes I try.
That's why we call her Boss D. So as soon as they settle down to dinner, as they first start to lift their goblets and take that first sweet sip of Chambord or whatever they're drinking. You know, Chambord, it's a liqueur, but it was only available to royal family until like for decades. But it's this raspberry liqueur. It's a royal recipe. Very good.
So I think someone of that time would probably be drinking either ale or mead or something like that. Of course, at a banquet table of the rich,
mead,
maybe not. I didn't even know what mead was, honestly. My
a
sister-in-law
wine.
my sister-in-law gave me some back when I went in last year at Christmas, and I was like, this is pretty good.
What is it? Is it just a different hop? Like instead of barley, it's made with a different hop?
No, this was more like a wine almost, the way that it tasted.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll have to look it up. I can't remember, but I always assumed that it was a beer.
Dee's like, we'll have to look it up. I'm sitting here thinking,
I can't remember.
Get a Total Wine and get some.
I know.
Sample that.
I always thought it was a beer, a form of a
did
beer.
Too.
But when I actually drank it, I was shocked that it tasted more like wine to me.
The first time I remember encountering the term was as an English major in undergrad, and we were reading Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. I wasn't even old enough to drink. So confusing a wine with a beer, I mean, I would like to think I would know the difference at that point, but I don't know. I think the best way to do it is to experience it instead of Google it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is. I just know it tasted more like wine to me than beer.
Better make it to the liquor store before we get snowed in without a way out. Because we don't have snow trucks here, y'all. We don't have salt unless it's in the ocean.
Right. If we get
snow, it melts, it ices over, it melts again, it ices over. I've been here 12 years. We've only had snow twice. Nobody can drive in it. We're not equipped for it. There's no chains on our tires. And people drive like they're crazy here anyway. Speaking about crazy here, I've got a true crime story from Charleston. We can address it at the end of the episode. It's a good one. We'll keep it short.
There's a recent one in Florence, too, I was seeing, and I was like, oh, this might be interesting. I don't know.
They might deserve their own episode, but this one's good. Anyway, back to the true crime of traitors. So in 1840, the great Scottish King James II, he lured his guests into their own demise right before dessert, his death, and history repeats itself.
I thought he said a kiss of history repeating itself. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Because that's what I
Ooh.
thought led to jam, yam, yam, whatever. It's spelled jam, and they pronounce it yam,
Yam
Um,
Yam.
jumping on Lisa because he said that she had kissed him.
That makes sense. The kiss of.
Mm-hmm.
So these antidotes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the henchman bringing out 2 vials of glowing antidote. I'm assuming there's some sort of light underneath it and they're not about to drink plutonium.
Mm-hmm. I was
These
wondering,
bitches were
are they
fighting
really
over
going
some plutonium?
I know. I was like, are they really going to drink that? It looked like something out of a sci-fi movie.
You know who swallows in this group drink
What?
anything? You know who swallows? Boy,
Oh,
do I
Lauren.
need to explain that?
Lauren, yeah, I got it. It took me a minute. It went over my head the first time you said it, as per usual.
So they only have a short amount of time to figure out who gets the antidote. Like Dee has a short amount of time to figure out what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Immediately, Yam whispers that Lisa kissed him, but then he turns to the table and he says who was served something. He's clearly not that concerned about Lisa's kiss in that moment. He mentions it, but then he turns the attention to who was served with something. He doesn't jump up. He doesn't fight. He's not worried about this. Nobody seems to be worried about this until after the fact.
Yeah. There was a lot of things being thrown around. It was the serving, the cards. Other than him mentioning it that one time, I don't think her kisses came back up again.
Natalie is worried because Steven served her food. So she would like to drink it because she's eaten Steven's meat and she can swallow. Steven, he says, I'm not the traitor. I carve the meat and no one else is really questioning him.
Yeah,
But
he's
Natalie,
like, you're just going to be wasting the antidote if you
right.
take it.
And looking at this discussion, it really shows us where the suspicions are, who's trusted and who isn't. Tara, she says that she was served the turkey by Dorinda. Dorinda also swears she didn't do anything, that she's not the one cursing people. But the table, they seem to land on Tara being one of the people that needs the antidote. So they don't land on Steven being the one. Like you said, the consensus is it would be a waste for Natalie to have it.
Right. They were concerned about Kristen's card showing up in the tarot cards. So they were thinking that she needed to have one of them because her face was the one that I guess was turned over on the tarot cards.
That makes sense because Steven's the one that suggested the tarot cards, but they said everyone was playing with it. I guess you're right, though. It's because her face showed up on it. But that wouldn't give the traitor control over who died. Also, those were nice tarot cards with the faces. If channel surfers, if you've seen the TikToks where they're revealing to the people who have been banished or killed who the traitors are, they're using these playing cards with the faces. It looks like they've been cut and paste onto them. Why aren't they using the nice tarot cards?
I don't know. You would think those would be the ones they would want to use.
Those are really nice. Actually, I forgot to do this at the beginning. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Click that link up top.
Or down here.
Actually, I might be putting a link for a past episode. We'll probably just redo the beginning and I'll tell people to subscribe there. But whatever. It's Friday, guys. I didn't even feel like doing this today. It has been a dang week. I still am without a microwave and I'm watching this banquet just starving.
That's what it is. You're hangry, Lauren.
If I can't microwave, I'm going to starve to death.
Yeah. I mean, let's go with hangry. We don't want people to know that we're just as bad on Fridays as we are on Mondays.
Mama doesn't cook. She microwaves.
I think I'm going to make some potato soup.
Well, I'm going to have to put it in a pot and heat it up from the can because the microwave still isn't working.
You may have to drag the grill out and see what you can fix on it.
No, because Bob took the grill to our Airbnb months ago. I don't even have a grill.
Sakes.
You know what? Tomorrow I'm supposed to go roast marshmallows, make s'mores with goats in sweaters. We bought tickets at this local farm. Yes, cute little goat sweaters with their creepy little eyes. I'm very excited, but they don't like rain. And it looks like there's a wintry mix. So I got to check my email. I have a feeling they'll probably cancel it. But if not, it means I'm going to be hanging out in snow, making s'mores with goats and sweaters. And pictures will follow. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be hot chocolate too.
And then I'll just have to bring my Kahlua. Actually, it's BYOB, so you can bring your own drinks. I'm very excited.
Shit.
I know.
Yes.
Fingers crossed, bra straps crossed, it doesn't get snowed out. Where were we? Doritos, Traitors. Just kidding, Dorinda.
Kristen wanting the antidote.
And the table consensus is Tara and Kristen. They trust Steven.
Mm-hmm.
At least kind of at this point. So it's time. Time's come. Alan's like, y'all guzzle or it's gone. Kristen grabs hers and drinks it. And then you've got Tara and Natalie with their hands on the same vial. It looks like they're about to pull the baby apart, arguing whose it is. And Natalie gets it from Tara's grip. So we've got the Olympic figure skater versus the survivor. The survivor's like, bitch, I'm surviving. She grabs it and they're like, well, just go ahead and drink it. And she guzzles it down.
You
She
wanted to
chugs
fucking
it.
fight for it. Just drink it.
She's annoyed everybody because nobody thinks that Steven tried to kill her. They are real sus of Dorinda, though. Dorito, what did you do?
Yep.
It's probably that breath you get after eating Doritos.
Maybe
A
that's it.
Hot cheese breath.
Yeah. I thought if people had been paying attention that they would have noticed, in my opinion, that Rob looked very sus because everybody else at the table is freaking out and he's down there popping boiled eggs in his mouth like he's not got a worry in the world.
Oh, it was savage. He shoved an entire boiled egg in his mouth, which we'll take some notes on that after breakfast. Lisa also, she seemed more annoyed than anything that there was an antidote. She did all this hard work all on her own, and now Alan's going to give somebody a chance. So everybody here, they start floating around the idea that this was the kiss of death. Alan, he says death's in the air, but who is it for? And then these henchmen, they go and they pull Yam Yam away. And as they're pulling him away, he's like, it was Lisa. It was Lisa. It was Lisa. It was Lisa. And he gets louder and louder and just repeats it.
She kissed me. She kissed me. It was Lisa.
And she gets defensive immediately. Well, all y'all kiss people. And then in IDM, she's like, what the hell is this? It wasn't the kiss. Jesus. You guys, it was the amulet, not the damn kiss.
It didn't have anything to do with damn kisses.
Not one person catches on to the amulet.
How frustrating must that be?
She got away with the murder because nobody figured out the amulet, but they all found a different way to find her as suspicious. The kiss of death.
Yes.
So Lisa, Rob, and Candace, first three into breakfast. They didn't get a turret, so they get in first to talk. And Rob's in the doghouse, and he just keeps digging himself deeper into the doghouse. The women are like, dude, what's your plan? He's like, I'm not going to do anything. Rob, you hadn't done anything already. It's time to do a little bit more than sit back today. Lisa's
He has not been acting team traitor at all these last two episodes. He doesn't give a flying fig about these two.
Lisa hits the head on the nail. She says, I've done all the work like women do. Rob is just a lazy sack of shit.
He's just going to sit back and look pretty.
He needs that money so he can hire someone to take care of him. So also, Mara, look at the team player that you would have in Rob. He's going to sit back and do nothing. Except go skip stones in the creek. Candace is telling Rob, look, this relationship needs to take priority
over all of them.
And Lisa is like, you guys need to have my back. My back's against a wall. You need to turn the tables. Lisa and Candace are making a huge mistake giving Rob a chance here.
Yeah, I think they should have been done with the last chance they gave him.
Absolutely. He's shown he's not trustworthy. And he tries to backpedal out of it saying, well, I couldn't say Ron and I couldn't say Colton because they were my friends and I was close to them. So I just threw Lisa's name in because I didn't think she was going to go home anyway. No, Rob, you didn't just throw her name in. You were making arguments as to why she was the traitor. This was not just a passive, I'm going to pick somebody because I don't know anyone else to pick. This was a purposeful attack. And I am so disappointed that Lisa and Candace gave him another chance.
Yeah. I mean, Candace told him when he was given his little defensive speech that it was only off by one. The vote was only off by one.
They should have come up with plan B to throw his butt under the bus before he could turn it on them. And while he sits there and he's like, oh, yeah, whatever, telling them what they want to hear, he goes into ITMs and he feels like he's being teamed up on, and it's ridiculous that he needs to protect Lisa because Yam Yam signed her banishment order, which we find out later that's not even the case. But this is what Rob is going to go with. I'm not saying what he's doing isn't smart. I think he is playing a solid game. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
He's playing a solid game for himself. And
he is the epitome of a traitor. He is traitoring the traitors.
Well, and I understand the game that he's playing. I just think he's doing it. I think he's making these moves too soon. I think there's still too many faithfuls left for him to start turning on the traitors.
But the foundation he's building, it's a strong foundation.
It is.
He is laying these bricks and cementing them solidly. It's wild.
It is. But at the same time, you know, the first few episodes he's been playing by not really saying a lot, just observing. And we're noticing, particularly in this episode, he's got a lot to say. And I think it might backfire on him if anybody really pays attention to it. If anybody ever says, you know what, Rob has just sat back and let everybody else pick people for the last, 4 round tables. And now all of a sudden he's got stuff to say before the round table. He's got stuff to say at the round table.
But they also could think he's this wise guy who sits back and observes, and he only speaks when he's certain, because that's how it's going to appear. He can always be certain. He knows who the other traitor is in this group besides him. Now, maybe when he pulls back after Candace is gone and doesn't have anything to say all of a sudden, maybe that's where the suspicion comes up. It's going to be interesting.
I don't know, because there was somebody, who was it, that they got rid of because they didn't say very much. Who was that?
I don't think they got rid of anyone just for that reason.
There
were always other... Well, also Ron, they said that he wasn't forming close relationships, but there were always other observations.
Yeah.
What is Lisa wearing? It kind of looks like a big green trash bag, but then I notice it's a big puffy leather green jacket with gauchos. I do love some gauchos. They're so comfortable. And then these like military boots.
I thought it kind of reminded me of a bomber jacket, but oversized.
Yes. I don't know. I'm going with trash bag. It looks like they're about to take out the trash. Lisa, you're not trash, but that outfit was. Breakfast discussions. So as they're piling in, the discussions are centering around Natalie guzzling the antidote. Lisa jumps in. Yeah, that was a problem. Mark said that it was intentional. Steven getting people to touch the cards. The air kiss, which Candace jumps in and says, okay, so that's the smoking gun. We are all doing it. And Colton is saying, yeah, that's weird though. Lisa actually gave him a kiss. Which Lisa jumps on Colton's bite. She is being so defensive. She's like, you're like a dog with a bone. Again, we don't hear her say, I'm not a traitor. Get it through your head. I'm not a traitor. She just counterattacks. Also, to Colton's point, Yam Yam's the one that went home. Sure, Natalie drank the antidote and Steven were having people pick cards, but Lisa gave the kiss and Yam Yam's gone. Again, they're sniffing down the wrong path to get to the conclusion, but still, conclusively, there was a kiss and Yam Yam left.
Yeah, but there was a lot of air kisses. I get what Candace was saying. I wouldn't have thought, even with him going home, look, everybody was air kissing. How far of a stretch is it to say that you accidentally hit the cheek if you're air kissing?
But does that stretch become closer when he's gone? Sure, everybody was air kissing, but he left.
Yeah. But I would have seriously rethought the whole Natalie situation, because what they were saying is they felt like she was double bluffing, that she was acting like she wanted it so badly because she was actually a traitor trying to keep at least. Yeah.
Rob is going to break this down for us, though, at the round table. And I'm a logical person. I have to agree with Rob here. When we get to the round table, Colton is in ITMs. He's like, I need to be careful how I play because I've been saying a lot. I don't see much difference in his game.
I don't either.
He's careful like a drunk toddler.
He's He's annoying as fuck is what he is. And the expressions that he
True.
makes drives me crazy. Like, he has such goofy, weird expressions that he makes when he's confident about stuff, like when he was getting in Lisa's face last week. And I think he did one similar this week. He just gets like this, like he wants to smile and not, it's just creepy weird. It's just weird.
At least he has a black t-shirt on now, and this era of horrible fashion has come to an end after the round table.
Mhm.
We're looking decent finally. So as far as the antidotes, Natalie apologizes, and Tara's feeling really bad that she took it when Yam Yam would need it.
Mhm. I don't remember Yam Yam even asking for it though.
He didn't, though.
Like you would, yeah,
Like
you
I
would
said,
have
he
thought that it,
mentioned it, but he did not feel this was a threat until he was being dragged away.
right.
It was an afterthought. And with that, like Alan says, Yam Yam was hot toast. Jam Jam was hot toast. We got to say it right. Jam Jam hot toast. And then he says, finish your granola guzzling and get ready. Today will be a monumental mission. First of all, these people aren't guzzling granola. What they have been guzzling is salmon. And the tables seem to have turned because now they are guzzling hard-boiled eggs. Like you mentioned the night before when we were at the banquet, Rob has a whole ass hard-boiled egg on a fork and shoves the entire thing in his mouth.
And
I'm like,
these are not little eggs.
It's a real, like, Easter egg hard-boiled egg. Who does that? That is savage. And then at breakfast, we see him shoving another hard-boiled egg in his mouth. Lisa, she's like, you don't deserve an egg, but I'll give you one. And you see him, like, he has maybe taken a little bite off of it and just shoves the whole thing in his mouth. And it's not only him. We see Steven shoving a half of an egg in his mouth. Are they putting crack on these eggs?
They must be some damn good eggs. That's all I can say. And they're huge.
At first, I was thinking maybe these are those Scottish eggs where they put the sausage in the middle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Let me see. Never mind. The sausage is on the outside. So I was trying to share it on YouTube, but I don't know. Technical difficulties. Basically, it's like a soft-boiled egg, and it's surrounded by sausage on the outside. Like, you know, Jimmy Dean sausage.
Never heard of it. All I know is deviled eggs, which I love.
So good. A lot of low-carb diets. You see the Scottish eggs as a suggestion. At least Colton is eating his eggs like a fucking gentleman. He's just taking a small bite. The one thing
He's
I
the
can
one
say.
taking the normal bites.
He's like chewing a little piece at a time. It's not savage. Pre-mission talk. Natalie, they think she's suspicious. Mark and Johnny say it's because she's one of the last gamers. Candace is suspecting Natalie because of how aggressive she was at dinner. Something's not sitting right with Tara about Natalie. And we see Tara talking to Natalie. Lisa starts to walk in, and then she tries to give them their privacy. She's like, okay, this is a private conversation. But they invite her in, and Natalie is explaining why Tara shouldn't be suspicious. All the gamers are gone.
Mm-hmm.
They've left. We've killed one. We've murdered one. And Lisa says, what? She's like, I mean, we banished one. And we see Lisa in ITMs going, did she say murder? Praise Jesus. I am using that.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing, but you know, it also backfired with Portia because I was thinking also that they might not go with that because of what happened with Portia. But she was like killed, murdered, and then she corrected herself with banished. I mean, she didn't just go with murdered them. She said killed them, murdered them.
She might as well said stabbed him in the back, hand delivered that letter. Just keep naming ways we kill. Lisa's another name. I mean, it's basically Natalie and Lisa. Kristen is asking the group, is she still a thing? I mean, after what Yam Yam said. And Candace, right in front of Colton, is defending Lisa. She's like, I feel like it's Natalie. I just think Natalie is stronger than Lisa. But why though? Because she made a big deal at dinner? That's all you got?
Well, I think with with a small group already going with Natalie, I think she's just strategically jumping on that bandwagon because she doesn't want Lisa. She knows Lisa's a traitor.
Mara then asks, what did Yam Yam say? And then we got Rob. We have the Wild Desert Cowboy. He's got this t-shirt on that says Wild Desert Cowboy. It looks like something from the 1970s.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was some drug ranch out in California desert somewhere during the 70s and 60s.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Well, I'm saying. He tells Stephen
That'll work too.
Yeehaw, giddy up, Rob. He tells Stephen, Mara, and Mark and Colton, anytime two people have a different opinion, one of them is lying. Now, we know that Yam Yam was telling the truth. He was a faithful. He didn't have any reason to lie as he's being drug out. And Lisa, if you paid attention, she immediately got defensive. Whoa, Rob, you don't have to say anything. You could just let them bury Lisa like you've let everybody else get buried. But he feels the need to jump in and dogpile on her.
He really, I think, shifted the consensus when he said that. I really think he put food for thought in their heads that wasn't necessarily there.
This is an Eric move. Remember when Eric swore he heard Tiffany laughing in the woods? And Eric doesn't say much, and that was what was trusted. This is what's happening the first time Rob's speaking up. And of course, he's using it to throw Lisa under the bus. On the way to the mission, Johnny, Colton, Natalie, and Lisa, those are the top of his list. And Tara and Candace both tell him we don't think that Lisa is the traitor. And then Lisa tells Mark she would love for it to be Colton, but with Natalie saying murdered, that's strong, which I think gives her some credibility because obviously Colton's being a dick face and she'd want to get him out, but she's like, for the benefit of the group, we have someone saying that they murdered somebody. So, mission. We see Lola sent with a bunch of backpacks. Lola, I think, is the name of Alan's dog, at least from last season. They have 30 minutes to get as much gold as they can on the way up the mountain and reach the summit. The 6 players with the most gold get to go to a final round to try to win a special prize. And they're all starting with 500 gold in their backpack, which are like rocks in these backpacks. Rob is sprinting up this hill with Colton behind him, but Rob is meets and bounds ahead of Colton. And he's wearing the backpack on the front, which is smart because when they get to the first stump, he's just got the backpack open and he's shoveling it toward him instead of having to take off the backpack and put the rocks into it. Dorinda, Candace, and Lisa, they're dragging ass at the back. Lisa, she's like, look, we got pro football players, we have Olympians, we have survivors. I only do the Super Bowl of murders. Y'all, the hill is the real traitor hill here. The real traitor hill here.
The real traitor here is the hill.
Lisa and Candace and Dorinda look like they are literally about to die trying to go up this hill. I don't blame them.
I would be dying.
I would need Rob to carry me up the hill. He ain't even carrying Mara, though. He's like,
fuck you and everybody else. I'm gone.
Now, toward the end, it looks like Colton's about to offer to carry Rob up the hill, but carries this backpack instead because he wants his best friend to win. Or at least place close with them. Colton trusts Rob the most. Look,
yes, he does.
We have all been mesmerized by some dick before. Colton
is not immune.
He is misplacing that trust.
He is not immune to it either.
No, he's not. They get to a point where they can take their gold rocks and throw them at urns that are hanging from trees to smash them and get even more gold. Johnny, he's smart. He goes, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not a gifted thrower. I'm not wasting my time here. Colton plays football. He's willing to risk it for the biscuit. There's this game with this grandma that's sitting in a chair and she's got like a tray of cookies and it says, will you risk it for the biscuit? My son has it. It's like sleeping grandma, but she wakes up and her teeth pop out if you put a biscuit on her tray and it wakes her up. Anyway, so Colton's willing to risk all of his gold for the urns. And this is where Rob tells us about the creek that runs through his farm. This is like the most country boy of stories. He says he can sit there for hours and skip rocks. I'd be bored. Mara, is this the life you want to sign up for? Do you want to go skipping rocks with Rob for hours at the creek? The sex isn't that good. Would you skip rocks for hours with Rob?
If it was that good, yeah.
I guess are we trading it for like 15 minutes or
I don't know.
what are we doing the rest of it? I'd be bored out of my ADHD mind. I can't sit still that long.
Grew up doing stuff like that. So
For hours?
yeah,
I would
as a
skip
kid,
a few rocks and then I would wander off and start riding trees, which is where you climb the little skinny tree to the top
yeah,
and then ride it down by holding on to the top and probably killing the tree.
no, it was a competition for me and my cousins. I mean, it's not just if you can skip, but who gets the most skips as it goes across the creek.
I can't sit anywhere for hours. It is hard enough to sit in the chair and get my hair done for hours. That is a challenge.
But he's killing it on those urns. I mean, he's like, bam, bam, bam. He's hitting all of it. He's doing better than the football player.
He knows how to hit it.
Mhm.
Laura, you got some choices to make here, girl.
He's not going to miss. Mm-mm.
There is that. So when they get to the top of the hill, they can put their gold into their own chest or they can put it into somebody else's. Lily gets there first. She puts it in her own chest. This girl's a survivor. She's the first one to the top of the hill. Sten, she doesn't have a lot, so she gives it to Mark. It's the only person she trusts. Has no gold. Threw all her gold at the urns and didn't hit a thing. She needed
I'd
to
probably-
take a note from Johnny.
You know what? She was probably sitting there thinking, you know what? I'm tired of carrying these heavy ass rocks up this hill. If I get more, fine, but I'm going to get rid of what I have. I ain't carrying them no more.
She don't want to leave Rob there. She's like, I'm just going to stand here with Rob and throw. Then she probably ran out and was like, we'll just see how he does. 0 rocks. Mara, 0 gold. She started out with 500. Lisa gives her gold to Stephen, and then Colton immediately says, why would Lisa do that? This isn't good. I feel like at this point, we're starting to paint a target on Stephen's back.
Mm-hmm.
And Tara
Yeah.
understands this. She says, you have to be careful who you give her gold to as we see her dumping into Rob Har's chest. I'm like, you just
He was
give it to a
already
traitor.
his was overflowing already. He didn't need any more.
So she could always say everyone else did it, but just the irony of you need to be careful who you give it to as she dumps it into a traitor's chest.
I know. Wonder what Colton would have thought if Lisa had dumped hers into Rob's then.
See, and this is where Lisa screwed up and
Mhm.
Candace screwed up by still trying to protect Rob, trying not to have any association with him that would link him to them.
Mm-hmm.
She should have put it in his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way he would know that turning on her may have suspicion. But Eric, Mark, Natalie, Colton, and Rob, these are the 6 with the most. So now they're going to do this little game where they have a tablet. They flip over the tablet. If there's a dagger, there's 1. Then they get the dagger. But because Rob had the most gold, he gets to ask all of them a series of questions, and then decide who is lying about having the dagger. The dagger is going to end up being 2 votes at the round table instead of 1. He really wants to
Right.
win it. He says
And he
he's a
thinks-
human lie detector.
Yep. That's what I was getting ready to say. He thinks he's a human lie detector. And I thought he did pretty good, honestly.
Well, he nailed it. His strategy was, I'm going to ask them a few questions that I know the truth about and then see how their response changes. I
Mhm.
kind of thought it was Eric because when they asked him the 3rd question, do you have the dagger? He almost seemed giggly and his
Mhm.
mannerism changed. Like, his voice changed some. But Rob calls it. It was Natalie.
I thought, to be fair, I thought Natalie was pretty obvious. Like when I saw her responses, if I was having to choose between those people, I'd have
What
picked
was it
her
about
as
her
well.
response?
She seemed to have gotten like flustered there at the end with the questions a little. Like the other ones were so
Yeah.
yes, no, and very definite in their answers, and she kind of got this wild-eyed, kind of flustered or scared look on her face.
To be fair, think about somebody as gorgeous as Rob staring into your eyes and then asking you questions and you have to lie. Wouldn't you kind of blush naturally? Like, shoot, I gotta lie to this
It
guy.
wasn't. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I didn't think she was blushing. I just thought she was. But
He would make
I know what-
anybody flustered.
I know what you're
Colton
saying.
won't
Yes.
flustered the whole time.
You know, she's got all of his attention.
Colton
in
carried
that
his gold
moment.
up the hill. He was about to piggyback Rob and carry the man the rest of the way. At this point, we know that Natalie will know who has the dagger. So I think Rob had a really good strategy. When they get back to the house, he pulls the 6 of them to the side and says, just so you guys know, I got the dagger. That eliminates the possibility that Natalie will use that knowledge to disadvantage him.
It also gains trust with everybody else in that group.
Right. To have that secret. He goes, look, this would put a huge target on my back. So let's keep this a secret. I trust you guys. Also, Rob knows that none of them are the traitor. He's willing to just jump in and trust them all, confidently trust them all.
Which, if you think about it, that in itself could be a strategy because he's going to be much more convincing than other faithfuls because he knows that all of them are faithful.
Like you said, it's building a rapport in this game. An action like this is going to go a long way. The house, Candace tells Lisa that Johnny is heavy on her and then says she hates having to think about Lisa not being there, which I think is some foreshadowing. Now, there's a group sitting in the kitchen, and Lisa, knowing that Johnny is heavy on her, decides to bring up that Natalie said the word murdered in front of Johnny. That seems to pull Johnny back some. Tara's also backing her up here, and Johnny's Tara's best friend. So you've got Tara now sitting there saying, oh, yeah, I heard that too. So this is smart. Lisa has now swung Johnny. Steven walks in. Now Johnny is on to Natalie's tail, and they tell Steven, you know, we're going for Natalie. We just need 7. And it looks like they've got at least 7 now in this kitchen. And they ask Steven who got the dagger. And he says there's a pack. Does him admitting that there's a pack and that they're trying to keep somebody safe because they would have a target on the back, then maybe put a target on Steven's back with the people with the pack? Was this a secret pack where the existence of it should not have been exposed? Because he could have just said, I don't know. Because none of them would have known if Rob didn't share it.
True. I don't know.
Because now we've got the turkey carving, the cards, the Lisa putting rocks into his chest, him exposing that there's a pack when nobody really needed to know that. He could have just said he didn't know.
But it also shows he's an honest person because they flat out asked him and who got it, and he said, well, there's a pact. We're not.
But he didn't say who got it.
Right.
He said, I have a secret and I'm not telling.
Right.
Which Candace at this point is still like, I don't know if I can trust Rob. No, Candace, you can't. You can't. We go to the round table. Lisa, she's survived 8 years of housewives. This woman is a survivor. And she's going to start by throwing Natalie out with the murder word. Natalie jumps right on her. You don't care if I'm faithful. You just want the heat off of you, which is true. And then Johnny says, look, Natalie, we both ate off of a plate that Steven served, and you didn't care about my safety. You only cared about yourself. You fought so hard for that antidote, knowing that you and I could both be cursed. And she said she was just fighting for her life. She was in fight or flight mode. She was acting like she was really about to get murdered. As if she was really gonna get taken out that night and it wasn't a game. And then Colton decides, let's shift this to Lisa. Why did Yam Yam go so aggressively for you when he left? Can Lisa tell us why Yam Yam does what Yam Yam does? I think Yam Yam is the only person who can answer that question. That's not a fair question. Candace says, do we really trust Yam Yam? He fake cried once. So now we've got Candace yet another time defending Lisa in front of Colton, who said last week, watch for who defends Lisa.
Exactly.
And then Mara, of course, she's going to be Team Colton because Colton is her crush's best friend. She's sure that Lisa kissed Yam Yam. And Dorinda, housewives never turn on each other. She's like, look, bitch, we all did air kisses. Stop acting so weird about it. And Mara was like, well, I thought it was weird that Lisa got so close to me. She almost got that lipstick and messed up my makeup. So I noticed when she kissed his beard. And as the fights start to flare up, Rob, the hero, the cowboy, jumps in. Y'all settle down. Let's use logic. I'm always game for logic. he's right. It's really easy for him to be confident and logical when he knows he's not going to miss here as far as they're about to get a traitor if he can convince them. But why would Natalie make a spectacle out of herself when Tara wasn't even her target? Use logic. We know that Yam Yam was a faithful, and the last thing he said is that Lisa is a traitor. Why would Yam Yam lie at this point where he is being drug off to be murdered? And I was thinking at this point, remember last week you asked, can they throw someone under the bus as they're leaving, as they're being murdered? Well, Yam Yam just did it. So Lisa, if you get called out, just drag Rob down with you. Rob.
I would hope so, because he needs it. He's a backstabbing traitor.
I think he's going to win this game.
I
think he's going to win this game. Rob also points out that Lisa, whenever she's confronted, has sudden amnesia. She doesn't remember, or she says something didn't happen. It's called perimenopause or menopause. I can't remember things a lot of the times either, Rob. It's just what happens to the ladies. Rob's not going to use the dagger for this round table, though. He's sure that he's dug Lisa's grave and he's going to save it for himself.
That guy threw Lisa fucking Rinna under the bus and backed it up.
He got his backhoe and dug out a grave and then ran her over and shoveled her in. You know that man has a backhoe.
Yeah.
That page hoe. Page-hoes. So Candace, I think at this point, Candace knows Lisa's about to go. She's not going to vote for Lisa. She's not going to vote for Natalie. She just decides to take a swing at Rob with no reason behind it. But just because she can't make up her mind. But
she knows in her mind, but she just can't say why.
Maybe she can spin that somehow, though. Maybe she can say, at that point, I had my suspicions. And him saying this strengthened it. And I wanted to be able to gather my thoughts before I came for this because he's a very trustworthy person and he has very strong alliances. But here's why I think he's a traitor. So maybe next week she can say, I wasn't sure until that moment. But now I'm ready to lay out my argument.
I think don't we see it a little bit here at the end of this episode with her and John? Was it Johnny talking? Something about did you notice that he mimics everything Colton says or something
they
like
do
that?
have that, but I didn't watch the previews for next week after the end.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But that's what I'm thinking. That could be a strategy at a future roundtable. There was also a vote for Mara. I thought that was a little random. Lisa's Spanish.
No, I think it was Dorinda that voted for Mara, and she was mad at her for what was it she said?
Well, arguing with her about the kiss.
Yes.
Which doesn't make Dorinda look great.
No, but Dorinda you could tell she's an emotional voter because she was on Ron the whole time because her and Ron didn't really get along. And now she's got beef with Mara. So she's probably going to pick Mara every time now.
Depending on how long she's there. Lisa gets banished and she absolutely loved her stay. She loved being there with everyone, but she's going to tell everybody she is the most iconic and most legendary traitor. And she puts up her hands and she sachets away. She is swinging them hips, walking off, snapping those fingers. It was iconic.
It was Lisa fucking Rinna.
And this experience has meant everything to her. It was very pageant girl in the ITMs.
Yeah.
I love you all. You mean everything. Kisses, smooches, waves, hugs. We love you, Lisa. I didn't love the green trash bag outfit, but I didn't want them to toss you out. Post roundtable talk. Johnny thinks Colton's a traitor. Colton's trying to convince him I'm not. He's like, when you're up against somebody that's really, really good, let's take it back to figure skating. And maybe you've got a routine that you only nail 30% of the time, but that's the only one that can beat this legendary figure skater. You're going to throw that out there and hope you nail one of the 30% where you clear it. That's what I was doing. He's still not buying it, though. He goes to Candace and he mentions that Colton pushed all the attention to Lisa when he started getting questioned. And then Rob is mimicking what Colton says. And Candace said, yeah, they're moving in lockstep. So now we've got somebody bringing up Rob besides her random vote where she doesn't have to be the one to say it. And in ITMs, Candace hopes that they cut the head off this snake in his little snaky tattoo arms. Now, Colton, he points out that Candace kept trying to move the heat off Lisa every single time, which that to me is more suspicious. And then Rob says, do you think there's a turret full of housewives? The other two housewives are Dorinda and Candace. He's pushing the heat to Dorinda.
Yep.
And Dorinda just voted for his girl, Mara. You don't come for
may be
Mara
Dorinda.
without...
Yeah, I think he'll let Colton convince everybody to go after Candace or Dorinda.
I think he will participate with Candace and he will stay more quiet and obscure about Dorinda. It's like my grandpa. He didn't say much unless he had something important to say. Rob reminds
So you
me
think
of
that's
him.
you think that's his strategy?
Simple country boy, yeah.
Makes sense. Because they did. As soon as he started talking, everybody started listening.
And we end the show with Candace and Rob in the turret staring each other down. And Rob just says, good evening. This handsome, charming good evening. And Candace is looking at him like she has daggers.
Yes.
Rob,
and
you might have the dagger, but this bitch is about to cut you.
Yes. And
I would too. I would be that bitch.
He came in with like this cocky grin on his face from the get-go, knowing he's going to be walking in to someone being totally pissed off at him right now.
Well, he also says at this point he cannot work with Candace, and Candace can't work with him. I think we might see a fight get thrown down in this turret. And Rob, you might have looks that could kill, but I'm going to put my money on Candace.
Absolutely.
You don't piss a woman off like that. You backstabbed her twice. And she used to work in D.C. She can play ugly.
Yeah, I think he might be in trouble.
All right. Anything to add to that episode?
No, I think we covered everything.
That's it, guys. That is our episode for Traitors. We will be back with the last episodes on Monday of Sister Wives and the last episode for the season on Tuesday of 90 Day the Other Way. After that, we may just be covering Traitors. It's our busy season. We've been back and forth on things. We'll let you know when we make a decision. But this is our fun, and we got to make money. We got to do
money,
stuff to pay the bills, because this just cost us money to make. We love sitting here and talking with you guys, but we got to pay our bills too. So we haven't made a final decision on that. We've tossed around Love is Blind some. We've tossed around The Single Life some. We've tossed around just doing Traitors and maybe throwing in some true crime here and there. Speaking of true crime, right here at the end, there has been an arrest made in Charleston. This woman, Kathleen, was arrested because allegedly she has kidnapped. She has taken somebody's cat. This cat, its name is Willow, and Willow's family, Willow's about 4 years old, a calico cat. Her family lives downtown. Very, very expensive, beautiful houses downtown. Willow lives downtown with her family. She was rescued from Edisto Beach a few years ago in the swamp, Marsh Kitty. And now they were like, come on, Kitty, get out of here. Come with us. She's living in downtown Charleston. So this Kathleen lady, she's an Uber driver, and the family has put more resources into this than you see go into missing persons cases. They have canvassed the neighborhood. They have gotten security cameras, doorbell cameras, business cameras to try to find this cat. They have a camera showing this car drive up, stop with the cat walking across the road, and get out. A person that was walking on the street kind of gets out and meets him in the middle. And then it looks like the driver of the car bends down and picks something up and puts it in the car. And then you don't see the cat. Then later on, they go to this place called Peach Labs, which is a gym where you work out your booty. And they got the security footage there where you see the cat jump up into the windshield. And then the lady opens the door and tosses something out and drives away. The place where that was tossed out is where they find the cat's periwinkle collar and air tag. So they then arrest this woman for kidnapping, and she won't give up where the cat is. They're assuming that it's in Goose Creek, but nobody knows where the cat is to this day. She has been released out of jail. They're offering $1,000 reward for Willow. And that is the latest true crime out of Charleston. We are wondering where Willow is. Willa, WILLA, Willa.
Crazy.
Now, I wonder when they quote unquote rescued the marsh kitty out of Edisto, did they take marsh kitty to Colleton County Animal Shelter to have it checked for a microchip and see if its owner claimed it within 14 days? I mean, that's what I did with my dogs. You take it there to see if the owner can find them first. Or did they just steal the cat out of Edisto and then the cat got stolen from them? I don't know. This is me overthinking. I hope they find Willa.
Yeah,
She's microchipped. So if anybody sees a white calico cat with black spots in the Goose Creek, Charleston area, take it to the vet, check for a microchip. Let's see if we can get Willa back to her family. She's been around for 4 years. I don't know how long ago they rescued her, but she's the glue that holds the family together. That's what they're saying. And it's going to be cold out. I hope that this cat is sitting in her closet warm at least, and that this isn't some bigger kitty serial killer where she's like making cats into chop suey and serving them to people instead of Uber Eats. All right. Prayers for Willa. Channel surfers, thanks for listening. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Check out all our other content. I'm going to point right here to our Traitors playlist. So if you've missed some of the other episodes, you can catch them right here. And we will see you next week. Bye.
That's right.